What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of ESK8 Exchange, the show where we talk about electric skateboards, the industry, anything pretty much electric skateboard related. We talk about it here. I'm Mike Beard. I am the owner of MBoards. Ali, I'll throw it to you.
What's up, dudes? Just the camera guy.
He is just our camera guy. That's nothing more. And Jacob, you're here to join us too.
What's up, guys? Yep, here from Board Bumpers.
Yep. So our main three. This is the kind of how the cast has been for like the last 3 episodes. We have quite a show today. I'm excited to talk about a few different things. First, I like to start the show off by kind of giving people updates about MBoards, just because that's who I am. That's where this show exists on the MBoards channel. So a new product we've got at MBoards is our 6-inch all-terrain wheels. Those are here and ready to ship now, so nice. That's super exciting. We kind of talked about that a couple episodes ago, but they're here. Our all-terrain conversion kit's still not available. It's still not ready, but the wheels are ready for anyone who just needs wheels.
Perfect.
The pulleys are on their way. They're just the CNC stuff takes a little bit longer than the wheels, but they're almost done. They're almost done. So I promise they're coming.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the AT wheels.
Dude, I have my prototype all-terrain pulleys. I only have a handful of them, so I can't sell them yet, but I've got them on my board, and it's awesome. Like my Interstellar board is so much better now. I like the all-terrain wheels a lot more. So
made the conversion.
Yes, I did the conversion kit. It's pretty good. So anyways, I'm excited about that. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. We got new wheels. They're they're great. They're compatible with so our MBoards pulleys, the Evolve pulleys will be compatible, and then also the Board Bumpers pulleys will be compatible with our wheels. So we try to make it so anyone who had pulleys that maybe they already have or whatever, they can use them on our wheels, and they don't have to like source like special ones for their stuff.
Cool. So yeah, new options.
Yeah,
new options.
A lot of options there for that. So okay, so that's kind of the only MBoards update I have. I don't think there's really anything new. Like I said last week, we have our feedback page up and running now. Actually, by the time our podcast episode came out last week, I didn't have the feedback page published, but it is now. So anybody who wanted to leave extra feedback about us or a company or our products, that is that's available now. So you guys can, we'll leave a link in the description if you want to give us some feedback.
Constructive.
Yes. Okay. So I wanted to talk about a big story right now. We all know there's part shortages. That's not a new thing. That's
oh my God. Yeah.
Shortages of everything have been happening for the last year and a half. Just as we thought we might be coming out of the part shortages out of China, we have a new obstacle we have to deal with now. So because all the factories have been like super overloaded for the last year and a half, there's not enough power to go around at this point. So like they don't have enough electricity. Like the grid is just full.
Wow. No way.
So what they're doing now is China, because it's China and they can do whatever they want, I guess. They're mandating factories to only operate like 4 out of 6 days based on what province they're in. So like a lot of the factories can only operate 4 out of 6 days. Some of them can only do 2 out of 6 days. So like now like there's going to be massive shortages because our factories simply are forced to close for the next, bumping into the microphone. But they're forced to close for, random days of the week. So they're trying to make it so everybody can still operate while not causing blackouts. So it's kind of crazy.
Well, so like if they don't follow that mandate, it's like affecting the grid where it'll just create blackouts.
I imagine so. I'm not a
huge fines or something.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's massive fines and they're trying to avoid blackouts.
In factories like these, it's not like you just turn a key on and off either. They they require startup shutdowns, things like that. Some of these factories are probably much more intricate than a basic maybe rubber factory, but even those, you don't just turn them off like the light switch. It's not that easy.
Right. And I imagine like if you are a facility that all you do is assemble, you're probably working 6 days a week still. But the guys who are doing the factories that have hundreds or thousands of like CNC machines, they're pulling so much power. So I get it. It's just crazy though. The amount of like the butterfly effect that this has had, like, the general part shortages are just higher demand, which would convert to issues with shipping and higher demand for shipping. And now we're to the point where they have to try to keep up with all that demand. And now it's causing power shortages. So one thing after another.
Yeah. What's next?
Yeah, seriously. I don't know. I don't know what's next. I mean, at this point, hopefully this is it. We keep saying that, but I did not assume or think that a power shortage would have ever been in the cards here, but here we are.
So what are there like being things delayed
So for
from
us, yes. So our suppliers have been pretty transparent about like issues. So I actually heard about these power issues probably a week or two before I saw the first article published about it.
Oh wow.
So which is interesting. I feel like because I've talked with our suppliers so often, I kind of start to hear things before it really starts becoming mainstream, which is like I started hearing about COVID before people were talking about COVID.
Right.
And then same thing now with the power thing. So they've been saying that there might be some delays. All of our stuff, at least for us, like anything electric skateboard related, the industry is pretty small. Like it's compared to like the automotive industry or like the silverware industry where they, it's so small where they can kind of keep up with their demand. I think they have a nice, healthy demand, but it's not like so insane that
overwhelming.
Right. So I think there will be slight delays, but a delay that we'll have to absorb, a delay that we can now plan for because we're aware of it. So it'll work out. But yeah,
it's mainly what batteries.
It's mainly our CNC
computer
stuff.
Type components.
Oh,
right?
so like
it's our
gears.
CNC stuff. That's because that's like a lot of the ESC stuff and the chip stuff. That's just the chip shortage.
Right.
I mean, the power shortage isn't going to help, but that's not, I think, why they are backed up.
Got it.
The CNC stuff, like which is kind of, I think, why our all-terrain conversion kits are taking a little bit longer because there's CNC machines that operate, 6 days a week are now operating 4 days a week or whatever. So I think it's going to delay us like probably a week. Like it's not a big deal. It's a week, but all that stuff adds up over time and delays here, delays there.
I'm excited. I need the AT wheels now.
No, I know. Yeah. So if you got a board that's not the interstellar, you probably can use those wheels now.
Okay.
But the way that our motor mounts are, we kind of need our special pulleys.
I see.
Next iteration of our boards, the pulleys will be a lot easier to use. But hey, oh well, you live and you learn. So yeah, so that's our delays won't be too bad, but it's something to think about and something you guys should also think about when you're talking with suppliers or different shops here and there. Cut them some slack once in a while. Not too much slack, but just be understanding that sometimes there's just stuff we could never have thought of that happen.
Just be aware that everybody's dealing with it, so it's not like it's our choice to not have these parts available.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to have them.
I love to wake up every morning and go, I would prefer not to send stuff out today. Yeah, no, we should be good though. Really, the delays shouldn't be that bad. Now I'm saying that now. Obviously, things can get a lot worse, but it should be fine. But I do still think that we're gonna see a little bit more part shortages than we're used to. So we'll see. It might get a little bit worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't want to talk about anything like too depressing for too long, but that's just kind of a little bit of news that I wanted to talk about. The next segment that I want to introduce, actually, that we were going to probably do weekly, is the Badass Build of the Week.
Badass Build.
But unfortunately, we haven't talked about it yet, so we don't have one to show off yet. So I wanted to kind of give that, tell the viewers about this segment we want to do, and invite them to submit their boards or builds to be part of it. So I'm going to leave a link down in the description if you're on Spotify or
Apple Music
or
Podcasts,
Google Podcasts, whatever it is. Go to ESK8exchange.com, or you can just go to our YouTube page and find it that way. But I'll leave a link where you guys can upload, or at least instructions of some kind. You can upload pictures of your build and all the specs of what's in it and how fast it goes and the range and all that. And then every week we can kind of not critique it, but I guess we could critique it, but just enjoy it and look at it and show it off and kind of brag about your builds.
I think maybe we choose 3 boards. We each choose one, and then we all have to come to a general consensus of the overall favorite.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
And it'll be anything, DIY,
anything.
Definitely
production.
include the specs. I'm a sucker for all the numbers. I want to know.
So here are the rules. So you got to send good quality pictures, like nice, clear pictures that everyone can, high resolution pictures that we all can see clearly.
No videos.
No, not going to do videos. It's just too complicated. We want to show on the podcast really quick with photos. So nice, clear pictures in the daylight so we can see everything, and then a nice list of all your parts you're using, and then what your top speed is, what your range is, and then any other information you maybe want to share about it.
All right, maybe accessories like telemetry devices or GPS, whatever.
Yeah, definitely include all that stuff in your list of parts because we want to know what's in it. And if it is a production board, make sure it's something kind of custom.
Right.
I don't want to see just a general out of the box. Oh, you change your grip tape. That's cool. No, I want to if you did something really cool to it, I want to see it.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah. So hopefully that sounds like a fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Looks
I'm
cool.
stoked to see the boards.
Can we
I know there's a
submit-
lot.
We like secretly submit our own.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I won't know. I guess I won't know. But yeah, so guys, keep an eye out for that. And I'd love to see your, that's one thing I really love to see is everyone else's build, which I don't see enough. I feel like I know every time I put on Instagram that I want to see it, people always submit pictures. But I love when our customers actually send me pictures, like when I don't ask for it.
Yeah.
That's the best part is when a customer spends however much time it took them to build their board. You know, it's complete, it's done, they're happy with it, and they send me pictures of it. Oh, that's like
I
the
want to
best
see a
feeling.
custom Interstellar.
Yeah, we have
That'd be cool.
there's a couple pictures that I haven't posted yet.
Yeah,
Anthony, we talked about Anthony a little while ago.
Guy, Anthony.
But he's like probably number one fan. But he just done some cool stuff with his board, so
Nice.
we'll have to post that on Instagram pretty soon.
Cool.
Good guy. He
Yep.
is.
Anthony, send us your board. We
Yep.
want to see it again.
Yes. Yeah. Right. No, we have great pictures. Actually, he was here in the office. He
Matter of
visited
fact,
us.
I took his photos
Yes.
for the
Oh.
board.
Yes,
Really
we
good.
actually.
I
So
forgot about
we'll
that.
put those on our Instagram. If you're not following the MBoards Instagram, definitely check us out on Instagram. You know, we post, good quality ESK8 content.
Behind the scenes, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So but we have pictures of Anthony's board. We'll post that on Instagram pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely worth looking
Yeah,
at.
his
for
is
sure.
definitely worth looking at. I'm a really big fan of it. And it's got a really nice grip tape design,
Yep.
too.
And actually, he built his. He got the kit version, so he
Yeah.
actually assembled his whole board. So he's got a cool board.
Cool.
But anyways, so we'll be looking forward to that. So everyone who's watching, please participate because it's better when people participate.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, shout out to
Prizes?
Anthony.
Do we have prizes? What are we gonna do?
Sure.
Or just blast them.
I don't know.
Let everybody know about.
Well,
we'll see.
Let's work on it.
Yeah,
Let's work
well,
on it.
I'll think
Maybe
next,
there's something
next
we
week.
got.
Maybe what we'll do is we'll try to curate a prize that makes sense for their
Yeah.
build. Because
Yeah.
to say here's a random prize and then it doesn't fit their build or something,
Right.
it's like, oh, thanks, I
Well,
didn't need
any
this.
suggestions from the viewers about maybe what type of incentive you might want to see for building maybe quote unquote the best board or
Yeah, that'd be
you
pretty
know.
cool.
Yeah.
So we'll work
Leave
on
it
that.
open.
We'll figure it out. It's a very open general concept. So we're just trying to do something fun. So
takes the community help us out.
Yep.
Yeah.
absolutely. All right. So the next thing we wanted to talk about is so things to carry when you're riding. We get questions like this a lot.
Yeah.
Like, what should I have with me?
Yeah.
I know you guys carry very specific things. For me,
Specific, yes.
I have my remote with me,
You don't carry
and
anything.
that is it.
You're that guy.
Now, once in a
Yeah.
while, I'll have a skate tool on me. But it's like if my board just like has a problem, I'm just like, all right,
Yeah.
is what like I take the risk. I don't really care that much,
Bold.
but maybe yeah. But I never go on like super long rides. So
Oh, yeah.
worst case scenario, I'm always kind of close to where I gotta be.
Yeah.
So but now Ollie, what do you carry with you?
So with me, being the media guy, of course, I always try to get footage of me riding. I usually carry GoPro batteries,
Okay.
a T tool, and like some ND filters, a little like sunglasses for my lens.
Yep.
To be honest, I really think I try to keep it bare minimum on just necessities. Like I need batteries, I need SD cards, and I need my T tool just in case. But I try to keep it fairly empty in my pockets or bag or anything like that.
I think there's a time and place to have, any tools at one point. I carry a Rattlesnake bike kit sometimes.
Oh, is like
Yeah.
Rattlesnake like the brand or something?
No.
Like
It's
an
literally
actual
like if you get bit by a rattlesnake, you
No
use
way.
this kit to pull the venom out.
This
I
guy
carry that in my backpack.
keeps a whole first aid kit with
you
him.
know, there's nothing worse than being on a group ride and one flat tire or a ripped belt. So typically I carry something extra for somebody. We rode with a couple of the Evolve guys a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, his board just started squealing. We thought it was a motor. We had no
Thought
idea.
it was a bearing.
All it was
the
a
bearings,
simple
right?
bearing. A bearing fell. A
Yeah.
bearing just exploded. So when
It
she
sounded horrible. I was so
sounded
confused. Like, what is
terrible.
going on
Oh
there?
man, and it was the end of our day. But all it was a bearing. You pop in a new bearing and you're on the road. So I carry an air pump,
An air
tires,
Wow.
tubes, patch kit.
Well, you know what? It's good that you
tool.
keep. It's good
Allen wrenches. I'm still going, bro.
right. Yeah. Please
Water.
continue.
Battery. Yeah. You name it. If there's a tool, I probably have had it in my bag at one point. Yeah.
Well, we've been on that group ride together,
Yep.
and I have you've experienced that flat tire
terrible.
in the middle of the group ride too, and I was actually really surprised you had that pump with you.
Bust it out. Yep. Works every time.
I want to go back to the Rattlesnake Kit.
Yeah.
Hold on. How
I haven't
often-
used it yet, but
Well, that's
Is it
good.
like for rattlesnake bites?
so I mean, out at the wetlands.
Okay.
Think how bad that could
Yeah,
be.
okay.
What are you gonna do? You know,
I'll
you're in
just
the
die.
middle of nowhere.
I'll just
yeah,
die.
You're
because
just
I wouldn't
gonna
have
die.
been prepared.
Right. See, you weren't prepared. But if I'd have been in your group ride, maybe I help you.
So,
So have you
main-
seen a
weird.
rattlesnake
Somebody-
on a ride before? To make
Yeah.
you think maybe I should have it?
I saw a snake out there once, but it wasn't a rattlesnake. So
So you're just erring
somebody
on the
gave it
side
to
of
me.
extreme
You know, it's
caution.
one of those things you have in your like your junk drawer, and you're like, wow, what am I ever gonna do with this? It ended up in the bag.
Hey, you know what? I've done is talking about extreme preparedness. This is not anything about electric skateboards, but I've forever wanted to get a seatbelt cutter and a window breaker.
Oh, for your car?
Yeah,
That's a good
and I've had my car for like 2 years, and I just haven't done it. And then I was just like sitting around one day. I'm like, if I don't buy this, I'm gonna need
it's
it.
gonna happen.
So I went on Amazon and bought some. So now they're just sitting in my car, like
Oh,
ready to break
man.
myself out.
Yep.
Now, like, you kind of just convinced me to go buy one.
Dude, I feel like, I don't know, it's so silly, but like,
But if we
whatever.
were gonna give like tips, let's say,
Okay,
of
yeah.
tools to bring.
so
So
don't
we know what we bring, but what are
there's-
like essentials?
Just bring Jacob and you'll be fine.
there's two types of people. There's me, who bring absolutely nothing
Phone, wallet,
except the
keys.
remote, phone,
Yeah.
wallet, and not even keys.
Not even keys. You don't use keys.
Yeah. And just my remote, and that's it. And then there's Jacob, who brings everything that he has
Yeah.
with him, including, maybe a journal or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's, I think there's a happy medium though. So like, I think for sure what you should have in your bag. First of all, I think everyone should probably, if you're going to go on a long ride, you should bring a bag. And then you should definitely bring a skate tool,
Definitely
Yep.
a T-tool or some
Definitely.
type of skate tool.
some kind of skate tool, T-tool, whatever. Probably a set of Allen keys.
Yep.
And then I'd bring, if you're wearing belts or not wearing belts, if you're wearing a belt, no, if your board
Is wearing belts.
if your board is wearing belts, then definitely probably an extra belt. And then some water. And I would say that's probably the main. Now we live in Vegas, so like I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe people who are living back east, like
I wore
Don't need
pants
water?
today for the first time since
Ever.
April. So
yeah.
March.
So I mean, bringing extra bearings, I guess would be nice. I don't know how often
They're
you
small,
need them.
so
they're small.
you
They're
can-
small
heavy,
enough
though.
where who cares, right?
and
They're
chances
heavy.
are you don't need a full set.
Right.
Take a drive bearing. Take maybe 2 wheel bearings if something happens. I blow out bearings at least once a month. So
Yeah.
Once a
I know-
month. Wait,
yeah.
what?
I mean, I'm heavy and I ride,
Okay.
kind of hard. So occasionally I blow a bearing out. But if you have a backup, no big deal. Those are
Yeah.
parts that are easily swappable.
Now we're talking now. If you're gonna take your board out for a spin around the neighborhood, obviously you don't
Yeah.
need to bring your stuff. We're talking about people who are going on a 10-mile commute or a couple hour long group ride where you really don't want to get stranded somewhere. That's maybe where you need to be a little bit more prepared. Obviously, if you're around campus, like no one's gonna bring all that stuff with them. It doesn't really matter. But for anyone who wants to go on like a really long ride, we get questions about this, like what they should bring or what they shouldn't bring. Like I can't name of anything that you shouldn't bring. but
Part of it though too is actually transporting some of these tools. So I have a huge backpack, so I typically fill it up. But there's not a lot of options on the market for carrying tools.
a lot of good advice for what to bring. So yeah, if you're out doing 10-mile rides with absolutely no backup anything, maybe reconsider that one. 'Cause
Right.
Maybe,
Say a prayer.
Yeah.
Yep. You never know. So
You can put it in your pocket. Just take it.
One thing that I
Sorry.
am definitely missing from my kit, though, and I always regret not having it, it's definitely water. Like,
yeah,
you might
dude.
not be kick pushing, but it's definitely like very physically demanding.
You
And
know
I
what?
find myself very parched at the end of a group ride.
So when I was in college, back when I used to do that, I had my electric skateboard, and some of my teachers would be like, "Really, dude, you can't push your board? Like, are you that lazy?" But
No, the audacity.
dude,
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think people realize how much of a workout it actually is to ride a board. I don't know if, like, first of all, if I were going on a long ride the next morning, my legs are kind of sore. Like, I'm like, it's weird. And then on my Apple Watch, I see like calorie spikes. Like, I
Yeah.
know that I'm burning some calories
Oh, for
on my
sure.
board. So I'm like, I mean, obviously, probably not as much as if I was kicking the whole way, but it still feels like a pretty good workout.
yeah.
But anyways,
Oh,
I just
yeah.
kind of wanted to
Okay,
mention
so
that.
here's my pro tip on the tools. You can shove them in your socks.
Oh.
Shove a T-tool, shove your Allen wrenches, shove them in your socks if you
Nice.
don't want them all in your pocket.
For anyone who's listening and can't see us,
Oh yeah,
we
I
all
just
just
pointed
looked
at my
at
socks.
Well, Jacob just did some acrobats and got his foot above his head.
Very flexible.
So yeah, that's some great advice. So anyways, I guess we'll move on because this is, you only can talk so much about bringing T-tools with you.
Well, one thing I do maybe want to like keep as an option that you might want to keep on you, like a USB bank charger.
Oh, that's a good
your
idea.
Phone, because like your phone's gonna be like your emergency.
Your remote though, if your remote dies.
That too. Oh man,
dude, I actually did experience this. I was riding. So back when my office used to be at one of my family members' offices, it was right by UNLV. So I would actually ride my board from UNLV to our first office, and my remote died on the way back to school, and I had to push the board with belts. So it's like it's impossible to push. Yeah. I had to push my board or carry it the whole way.
Your calves are massive.
Just because.
Now, if you'd had a T-tool, you could have taken the belts off.
This guy.
You could have pushed it. See what I mean?
I should have just brought a whole other board with me.
Check your socks.
Yeah.
But my remote did die, and that was all it took. Is now my whole board doesn't work. And I'm like, like I had nothing. I didn't have my computer with me because like I've charged charged it on my laptop before, but I didn't have that with me. I'm like, oh my god. So that kind of sucked. So that's a great idea because that takes up almost no space in a backpack. So yeah, great idea. Okay. So, our next topic of the day would be winter riding. We get questions.
Yes.
We get questions about winter riding. I actually made a video about like what you should do with your board if you can't ride it all winter, about storage and stuff. But like for us, the summer is where we typically don't ride our boards as much because it's 116 degrees outside. And then when it's cold out for us, it's like 40 during the day. Yeah. So it's great. Yeah. So like for us, we have the whole winter to look forward to ride. I know you'll be on the slopes, actually snowboarding most of the summer or most of the winter.
Yeah, ideally, but believe it or not, my electric skateboard still gets a lot of use. The main thing that I really use it for in the wintertime is transporting me and my board from the parking lot to the resort, because usually there's some quite of a walk. You have to walk.
It's like the worst walk.
It is, especially in snowboard boots and everything like that.
In the morning you're hot, and at the end of the day you just don't want to do it. You just don't want to do it.
Yeah, honestly, and then like passing everybody that's walking with their snowboard, and they're all just like, "What is that? How's he still shredding?"
So what do you do with your board when you with your skateboard when you get to the slopes to start snowboarding?
So it's not ideal, but I leave it in the rental shop. Most of the guys are willing to hold it behind the counter.
Cool.
And they'll just
the hook up.
Yeah, right. Yep. You got to know.
You got the hook.
But I'm sure anybody, honestly, if anybody with any type of hookup, without any type of hookups, wanted to just ask, hey, could you hold this behind your counter? Most of the time, I haven't actually had anybody deny it.
That's a good idea.
They'll be really cool about it.
Might find a locker that's big enough occasionally.
Maybe.
I mean, some of them are really small, but you might get lucky and find
So in the worst case
locker
scenario, if they do deny you, you do have the option to purchase a locker or rent one. But then again, you're expensing something now.
Yeah. So for us, I'm curious to know if you guys are watching and you live somewhere back east. We'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section about what you guys kind of do during the winter when it's snowing. Do you guys push through it? Do you guys ride in the snow? Do you hang your board up for 3 months? I can tell you this: our sales definitely decline throughout the winter. Our sales pick up like in Australia a little bit because it's getting warmer for them. But for us, I can tell you that we lose the whole, half back east type deal because they're not riding anymore. And that's a lot of our sales is New York, the New England area. Yeah. So like all of them who do get snow, we don't hear from them and we don't see a lot of sales from them for like 3 or 4 months.
You know what I've been really interested in looking into? I've came across an article of people inserting screws into their pneumatic tires, creating somewhat like a snow tire. Like
a studded tire.
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
We've looked into that, and I want to come up with a really nice studded tire kit.
Right.
But I haven't been able to find the parts that would make it as good as I want it to be.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to do something stupid and pop people's tires for no reason. I want to make it really nice, but there's a lot of YouTube videos. If you have free time, go on YouTube and look up electric skateboard all terrain studded tires
or winter tires,
or whatever. And there's some really really good results with people riding on ice and stuff.
I know Daniel with Lazy Rolling did it on his Cali, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it looks pretty cool. I don't know how long or what the ride is like.
I can tell you this: if you do decide, if you have this or have done this, send us pictures and we can show it maybe next week, because I think it's one of the coolest things that people do. Obviously, when it comes with winter riding, waterproofing is a big thing too. It goes beyond just studded tires, but it's really cool. It's a really cool idea. So. Yeah, it's definitely very interesting, how the dynamic of electric skateboarding like disappears for like 3 months back east for
Right.
some people.
What I noticed when riding in the snow with my electric skateboard is the tires tend to pick up a lot of snow, and they'll just whip you over and over again. Every time that tire rotates, you're just getting whipped with snow and water and dirt. It's not the prettiest. It's not the cleanest.
You have to really want to ride if you know, in the winter.
Maybe need the fender
Yeah.
attachments or
Right.
Dude, yeah.
I don't
Dude, the
know,
fenders look crazy to me. I can't.
yeah,
I think they just look so silly that I
don't
just
think
can't get behind. I mean, if you use them and they're functional. So if they're functional,
work.
that's great. But for me, they just look so.
I'm not a fan
crazy.
of the aesthetic.
I'm not risking riding in the rain.
Yeah. I don't know.
Of course,
not-
I should have known. Jacob
Just
would
don't have that. Yeah.
Well, we have the luxury of having like 320 plus days of sunshine here. So maybe if it was 320 days of rain, maybe we suck
Maybe
it
it'd
up
be
and do it.
different,
Yeah.
yeah.
True.
Like for us, if it rains, we're excited because we haven't seen rain in 6 months.
We need
so,
heat
Right.
shields.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. The aesthetic of a mud guard or the aesthetic of mud on you.
Right. Yeah. Pick your
Which aesthetic do you want?
yeah. Yeah. For us, we need like active like water cooling,
yeah.
which I do want to do a video like that. I think it'd be super cool to like, I don't know how practical, or it's probably really stupid. I don't think anyone would actually ever do it in real life, but it would be fun to do it just for testing,
Yeah.
just for a video, would be to like get a heat sink and get like a water cooling pump and a water cooling block for a ESC and have it all internal. I mean,
Water and electronics go real good together.
yeah.
Dude,
Hey.
that sounds so fun.
Dude, people do it in computers all the
Yeah.
time. So like I have an AIO water cooler on my PC right now, and it works really well. But obviously, my computer sits nicely on a desk and isn't used and abused outside. And again, I don't think it's a good idea to actually do this in real life. But I think just to do it for a video would be like really cool just to see the results. But anyway, it's just a simple idea.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, I think it'd be a fun video. I don't think it's a good idea for anyone to ever do that, just because
Right, we do not recommend this.
you would probably get a leak. You will probably get leaks and ruin
I
your
feel
stuff.
somebody's probably tried it.
Someone probably has. I'll have to look it up and
We'll
see.
just have to perfect it.
Yeah. But anyways, I thought that'd be kind of a fun idea. And we do have a couple of user submitted questions, or not user, viewer submitted questions, because, you know, we love to.
We got viewers.
Yes, we have some.
We've
some
got
people.
questions.
So the first question is, what is your favorite deck style, material, shape, length, etc., and why?
Okay.
So Ali, do you want to start us off?
Yes, if I may, please.
Yes.
And I'm actually very specific on my board. At least it has to be 40 inches long.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of drop down decks. And
So you like to see it come down a little bit.
Exactly. I
Okay.
feel like I can position my feet a little bit better, kind of lean it a little bit against
Yep.
that incline. I try to stay away from bamboo boards. I tend to get my boards wet a lot.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of like coatings on bamboo boards that make them really water resistant. But I beat and abuse all my gear, my boards. So I know probably hopping off a curb, I'll expect like some scrapes.
Mhm.
And from there, if water gets into that scrape, it could damage it. So I try to stay away from bamboo decks specifically, drop down and at least 40 inches long.
Okay. So you just don't want to risk it with wood.
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, so what material do you like to go for?
I try to find anything close to carbon fiber
Okay.
or similar material that's very strong.
Okay. So you like a stiff ride.
Yes,
Okay.
I like stiff specifically for high speeds.
Okay. Cool. Jacob, do you want to add anything to that?
That's pretty specific.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I
that's
said,
pretty
I'm
specific.
specific with my boards.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big guy, so I think I already kind of limit myself out of a lot of boards. I jumped on a boosted once and about put the belly of it on the ground. So I stay away from boards like that. I had a bamboo at one point, same thing. It looks like, you know, those donkeys that you ride down in Arizona when you go down to the
Yes.
Grand Canyon, their bellies look like they're
Yeah.
going to touch. That's what my board did. So no good there. Carbon fiber for me, it's got to be stiff. It's got to be hard.
Yes,
I can't have
Nice choice of
don't
words.
even. Come on.
nice.
No flex. How about that?
Nice.
No flex. Okay.
Cool.
No flex.
Yeah. I am the same way. I like a stiff deck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't like feeling like I'm moving
I get seasick.
yeah, like I feel like I'm like on a trampoline.
Yeah.
And I to me that doesn't feel right. I know a lot of people like it because it smooths the ride out.
Carving.
But to me it feels like I'm gonna like fly off of it. I don't know how to
You like
explain
bounce
it.
back up and just.
Yeah, I feel like I like to feel the road when I ride.
Mhm.
I like to I know it's kind of the opposite of what people are going for, but like I like to feel the road. I want to feel the vibration because I can like feel like I feel like I
Become
can
one with the
control
board.
the board a little bit better. So actually, did anyone talk about the shape?
No, not
What
really.
shape do you like? You said drop down, like
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the pintails. I like the standard, like I don't know what to
like
really
bottle nose.
Yeah, like a bottle
Like-
nose, like a
yeah.
bottle shape, like almost a wine bottle shape.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I'm a fan of those type of shapes.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the pintails.
Okay, so like that's pretty much like almost all the decks
Yeah.
are like that at this
Yeah.
point. So that's what I like as well. Yeah,
If I
Yeah, like the
had-
MBoards deck. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of that
yeah.
shape.
that's what we went for. Yep.
I actually like the shorter ones.
You
Even
like the
though I
shorter
don't
ones?
really ride them, I like the way they look.
Oh,
I
they're
like
so
the old
fun.
school 80s look of an old,
I agree with you.
you know, fishtail, slap a battery under there and go. I think those look wicked cool.
My favorite decks are the shorter ones.
Yeah.
The shorter downhill style decks. But I don't like riding them as much as I wish I did because I like the smaller form factor. Something about a long 40-inch deck is something that I just have to have too.
Yeah.
So like I'm a big fan of carbon fiber as well, which is, you know, our next boards will have a carbon fiber option because I love them so much. But yeah, so like I'm with you guys. I like a stiff deck over 40 inches. I do like that drop down. Like our Interstellar deck isn't that way, but I kind of wish it was a little bit because it is nice. You have to be careful with that though, because like actually the reason why it's our Interstellar deck isn't that way is because if you have motors mounted underneath your deck, you pretty much can't have any kind of drop down at all.
You got no clearance.
There's no clearance for those motors.
Right, that's right. The motors are kind of like inverted in a way.
Yeah. So if you're gonna have a drop down deck, you got to have like reverse mounted dual kingpin trucks, which will work out for our next iteration of boards. But for this time, like we just needed like a straight deck. So I like the concave my board. I like them relatively flat, like just a mild concave, like nothing crazy. But anyway, so that's kind of the deck styles that I think are kind of pretty much all on the same page here.
Yeah, and I mean, how much can you change the deck?
Yeah,
too? I
at
mean,
this point.
there's
Well,
different versions. Mountain board decks are very specific, but you know, if we're
Yeah.
just talking kind of long board decks, there's
Yep.
only
Right.
so many things you can do.
Now
Yeah.
you're building a board pretty soon. Now, what deck did you opt
yes.
for?
So
You're building a really
beast.
expensive board.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going on like a year now building it due to the part shortage. So the deck that I am currently using is a Cali deck. It's the thickest one, the hardest ply.
Okay.
That one's like a drop down style.
And what's that one made out of?
That one, it's some type of carbon fiber. I'm not really.
It's like a composite, right? It's
Yeah,
got
it's like
multiple
a,
sheets.
Exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly. I'm not too familiar on the material. I just know it's.
It's got carbon fiber in it.
It's just
so
as
it's a
strong
nice
as
strong
carbon
deck.
fiber,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that just goes right in line with what you like, pretty
Right,
much. But it's a
yeah.
little bit different. It's not like the Interstellar style deck. It's like
Yeah,
it's
it's like
more
a
of a
drop down, more of like a mountain board
Yeah.
style deck.
That's cool.
It's got a curve to it.
Cool. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's interesting. So that's kind of
You're
what.
going bottom mount, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be under mount.
Oh, under mount.
I'm still kind of skeptical on how this is gonna run, especially with the undermount on that specific deck. I've never purchased many of their products, but I'm kind of interested to see. I'm
Cool.
exploring.
Yeah.
the
That's
world.
So
cool.
toe to toe with the jaws.
Yeah, right.
That's cool.
Exploring the world out there, seeing what we got.
Cool. Yeah. So that's kind of our deck preferences, I suppose.
Yeah.
So we got one more question from a viewer. He
Another
said
one.
that the question is, I'm 58. Is that too old for ESK8?
Oh, dude, by far,
Man.
no, easily no.
Yeah.
not
OG.
even close, dude.
I was like, I just found that to be just really. I never think about it, but I'm like, nah, that's not too old.
No,
There's
No,
no,
never.
you're never
That's
too old
just
for
it.
anything.
never. No. I
So-
think that's really great that he actually is.
If you're in shape
asking,
enough
yeah.
to do it, you can do it. So like we've seen videos of like 70-year-olds on electric skateboards.
Yeah, I saw one the other day out in California. Guy on a one wheel. It was in his 70s. Was just shred.
Dude,
I love it. I love
Yeah.
to see
it's
it.
amazing. Yeah.
Love to see
So
it.
I put a poll out on our Instagram story. So again, if you're not following the MBoards Instagram or the ESK8 Exchange Instagram, you should, because that way you can kind of interact with the show a little bit better.
Right.
Again, links in the description. But I put a poll out to just ask people how old they were, just to see, because like I don't really keep track of that. I don't really keep track of like age demographics at all. It doesn't really matter. But I wanted to know just for the show, and you guys should hear some of the responses we got. I just thought they were very, very interesting.
Yeah, I answered that just in case if you
So
forgot my age.
I put it all in a spreadsheet, and the
Okay.
average is about 24, 25 years old, because
about
we
right.
do have a lot of, and I feel like my following base is a bit younger than some of the other brands out there. But we have someone that responded 62.
60.
Was that the oldest?
62. I think that's the oldest.
Did
Let
he
me
say
see.
what he's riding?
You know, I didn't message him, but I can, and we'll we'll find it out.
Interested.
Yeah, but 62 is the oldest. Oh, never mind. My brother put 69, but that's not right. So I was like, oh, maybe this one is older. No. So Mark over there, the jokester he is. But yeah, no. So I think a lot of, and I think so. I got an average of like 25 when I put in the spread, put all the numbers in a spreadsheet and average it out. But I honestly think that the average, again, my following base is a little bit younger. I think so. I honestly think that the average like rider is well into their 30s.
Everybody has a story too about how they got into electric skateboarding or skateboarding in general. So I'd be very interested to hear of some of our,
our viewer
more
stories,
seasoned viewers.
Yep.
How did they get into it, and what is their story?
Right. So I mean, we've talked about having other people on the podcast via Zoom. Of course, we'd love to have people in the studio. Which anyone who's in Vegas, we can make that happen potentially if you got a good story to tell. But yeah, I'd love to hear from people, their stories about how they got into electric skateboarding, because it's always something weird or not always.
Never what you expect.
No,
Yeah,
it's never how you
it's
expect.
never what you expect.
Nobody walked into Walmart and bought a skateboard just because they felt like it. I feel like
yeah.
everybody has a story.
Yep. So,
can you buy a skateboard at Walmart? Probably.
you can, and they're horrible, but you can. There are. Oh, are you saying electric skateboards or just skateboards?
Well, electric.
Oh, actually, I don't know. That's a question. I know that they have like hoverboards and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't go to Walmart, so I don't know for sure. I tried my best to avoid Walmarts.
Yes, me too. I avoid Walmart as much as possible.
So like I don't actually know what they have. But I have been in them before, and I know they have like standard.
If any of our viewers have one from Walmart, let us know. But
yeah, what
we're
brand
not
would that be?
Talking down. We just
no.
Now
I'm
we
just
want to
curious.
know. I just want to know now.
To me, it just doesn't make sense based on where I live to go to Walmart. But that's among other things why I don't like to go to Walmart. But
Sorry, Walmart.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So that's the last viewer submitted question. So
do we know the youngest?
Okay, the youngest.
Yeah, what's the youngest?
Sorry,
That's a good
guys.
question.
Yeah,
Good question.
So I kind of didn't. You guys keep me on track. I appreciate you guys. Anyone listening, I'm very scattered. If you ever visit the warehouse again, and welcome to come visit anytime, you'll see that I am all over the place and can't keep focused on anything ever.
It's an organized mess.
It's-
I'll give it to you.
Solid
I'll give you
admission.
that.
It is a mess, but
Organized.
I have these great people around me who keep me on track, aka Maddie. She keeps me on track. But no, the youngest was let me scroll 1 minute. It was
so
not
while
69.
he's doing this, by the way, I want to say congratulations to Mike and Maddie. They got married last week.
Oh, thank you.
So that's
Congrats.
that's pretty awesome.
man.
Yes.
Good for them.
Thank you guys.
Congratulations.
So
Mrs.
episode 1, she was introduced to me as my fiance.
Yep.
And now she's my wife. So we are officially
Yep.
a family-owned business. Okay, so the youngest I have on here is 16. Been building since I was 12. Thanks for all the help along the way. So apparently
Super cool.
our videos helped them when they were 12, and they are now 16. So that's super cool.
That
Nice.
kid is going places.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey,
Literally.
building at 12, that's pretty cool.
Super cool. Love to
Yeah.
hear that story.
Yeah. So building at your 12. So 12 years old. So they're 16 now, but at one point they were 12. So I know so when I originally got into skateboarding, or electric skateboarding, I really thought that the rider base was young. I really imagined it was a lot of like high school, college kids.
Yeah.
And like as I started this company, as I started talking to more and more people, it blew my mind like how many like full blown adults. Like
Yeah.
I'm 24, I'm technically an adult, but I really don't feel like I'm an
30.
adult yet, you know? So like the more I talk to people and the more like 30 and 40 and 50-year-olds I talk to, I'm like, this seems like the vast majority of the community is just older guys. And I just think it's really, really cool because I feel like the older, well, guys and girls, like it's definitely mostly guys.
Heavily populated.
Heavy, yeah. Like my
For sure.
YouTube analytics are like 99% male watchers. I'm like, oh, well, but there's a few girls out there, and I think it's super rad. But
Yeah.
Maddie's keeping control of that. That's why.
yeah,
yeah.
She's got her
like
filter
filtering
on.
it.
yeah, right. Keeping the girls. No, but it's really cool to see like just the old, like it's not like people are aging out. You don't age out. Like I think only more and more people become.
It shouldn't matter. I mean, if you're physically capable,
Sure,
there are certain things you don't ride an electric skateboard because you maybe have an injury or something. You want to be healthy doing it.
Yeah.
But if you feel like you can do it, I mean, go for it.
I was the same way. When I first got into e-skates, I kind of thought it was just like the demographic was going to be like 25 and under, or just like mainly college kids or something like that. But then as I went on mini group rides, I was like, yo, these guys are like around my age or a little bit older. I really do appreciate that question. If by that one user,
Yeah.
if
So
is 58 too old? No, it's by far not.
Not at all, dude. If you're starting now, if you're in shape, I see you. You could probably get 10 more years on the board,
Dude,
man.
you should try snowboarding.
Yeah, right.
Try it all.
Step it up. Go skydiving.
Right.
No shame.
So thank you guys for giving me your input on some of our questions and topics today. Again, if you guys have anything you want to hear us talk about, please leave them in the comment section below. We read everything. Every single comment that gets sent to us, we read them all. Same thing with our Instagram DMs and all that. We read everything. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining me again this week. Of course. I'm excited to sit down with you again next week and talk about something else.
It's a pleasure. I look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.
See you later.